My name's Elisabetta Parisi, and on behalf of SKGA Inc Australia, I welcome you all to the second episode of the virtual Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival 2021, SHMFA. In association with the Victorian Multicultural Commission, State Government of Victoria, City of Kingston and M4TV channel, the festival is proudly presented by SKGA Inc Australia. SKGA is engaged to promote Indigenous, Indian, Australian and multicultural music, films, dance, drama and related cultural activities at this platform via multiple educational productions involving people of all origins, faiths, genders, ethnicities and age groups in Australia. This festival is a brainchild of SKGA's founding president, Mr. Noel Kishore Mudgil, which in the last 10 years has celebrated and collaborated with over 50 diverse cultural backgrounds. In its 10th year, SHMFA 2021 will be telecasted via 4 consecutive weekly episodes covering health, healing, meditation, yoga and well-being, 8 COVID-related and other community talks, multi-faith and lingualism. To support this festival, we have received many video festival messages and greetings from all over. Let's watch some of them.
I'm pleased to be sending my best wishes for this year's Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival. Music, stage performance and dance have always played a role in bringing community together, and this sense of unity has never been more important for Victorians. As a government, we understand the unique challenges that multicultural communities continue to face, which is why we are so proud to support this event. It brings me great joy to know that you've chosen to take the time to celebrate this special occasion together online. I would like to extend my gratitude to the team at Sangam Group Australia, who proudly celebrate the 10th year of this festival. Thank you to the performers and organisers who have worked tirelessly to bring colour and creativity to our screens. I would like to acknowledge your ongoing commitment to supporting culturally diverse communities across Victoria to maintain a sense of connection and belonging. I hope that next year we can safely celebrate in person. But in the meantime, we will embrace the beauty of performance and cultural heritage from the safety of our homes. On behalf of the Andrews Labor Government, I wish you all a joyful Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival.
Hello, my name is Viv Nguyen and I'm the chairperson of the Victorian Multicultural Commission. We are an independent statutory body that advocates for and promotes cultural diversity in Victoria and across all levels of government. For several years, the Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival has been a vibrant, loud and proud celebration of diversity. Spirit Harmony gives Victorians the opportunity to share their cultural traditions. To take part or just to attend is always an entertaining and culturally enriching experience. Like last year, challenges have arisen again, but Noel Mudgil and the Spirit Harmony team have worked incredibly hard to make sure we could all still come together this year. I would like to thank and congratulate the organisers for their efforts in making this special day happen. Through challenging times, we need to stick together, and this means we need celebrations like Spirit Harmony now more than ever. Please enjoy the performances, workshops and other festivities throughout the day, and don't be afraid to reach out to new people. We look forward to meeting you again in person soon, and have a wonderful day.
Hi, I'm Steve Stakos, the Mayor of the City of Kingston. Join us this weekend as we celebrate the Diwali Festival of Lights and Guru Nanak Jayanti. Now in its 10th year, the Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival is an event not to be missed. Held virtually, the 2021 festival features 3 days of the very best in diverse cross-cultural entertainment, including musical performances, dance, yoga and meditation, and much more. Congratulations to the team at SKGA for putting together another fantastic virtual festival. I encourage everyone in Kingston and across Melbourne to jump online and enjoy this wonderful weekend festival. Thank you.
Since 2002, SKGA Inc Australia is dedicated to promoting community engagement and diversity while presenting Indigenous, Indian and all cultures at this platform via festivals, events, languages and cultural education, while spreading intercultural awareness within Multicultural Australia. SKGA promotes and hones artists, musicians, art and cultural businesses, people of all cultures, regions, religion, origins, gender and ethnicities by embracing multiculturalism and diverse art forms. SKGA Incorporated volunteers have spread its aim and objectives throughout Victoria and successfully achieved educating and entertaining thousands, providing a helping hand to the State Government of Victoria's initiative of promoting cultural diversity, community harmony, intercultural awareness and mutual understandings. Proceeding further with this episode of Virtual Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival 2021, SHMFA, let's enjoy more cross-cultural, diverse stage performances, community talks, fun and acts by Australians, Indians and all singers, dancers, actors, musicians, yoga and health lovers.
எண்ணும் எழுத்தெல்லாம் என் ஏட்டிலே துலங்க வைத்து கண்ணும் கருத்துமாய் நற்கவிதை துவங்க வைத்தார். பண்ணும் இசையுமாய் பாடல் புனைய வைத்து முன் நின்று என் குறைகள் நிறையாய் அருளுகின்றாய். மூலவனே மூத்தவனே காலமெல்லாம் காத்தருளும் சோதரனே கரமலர் குவித்தேன் பதமலர் நினைத்தேன். ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய்
தஜம் தக்கஜம் தக்கிட்டஜம் தக்கத்தஜம் ததிங்கிண்ணத்து தஜம் தக்கஜம் தக்கிட்டஜம் தக்கத்தஜம் ததிங்கிண்ணத்து தக்கஜம் தக்கிட்டஜம் தக்கத்தஜம் ததிங்கிண்ணத்து தக்கஜம் தக்கிட்டஜம் தக்கத்தஜம் ததிங்கிண்ணத்து தக்கத்தஜம் 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 ததிங்கிண்ணத்து தக்கஜம் 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 ததிங்கிண்ணத்து தஜம் 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 ததிங்கிண்ணத்து 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 ததிங்கிண்ணத்தும் ததிங்கிண்ணத்தும் ததிங்கிண்ணத்து 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 ததிங்கிண்ணத்து
ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓங்காரமாய் ஒளி நிறைந்த பரமானந்த கணநாதனை பணிந்து ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓங்காரமாய் ஒளி நிறைந்த பரமானந்த கணநாதனை பணிந்து ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓங்காரமாய் ஒளி நிறைந்த பரமானந்த கணநாதனை பணிந்து ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓங்காரமாய் ஒளி நிறைந்த பரமானந்த கணநாதனை பணிந்து ஓம் தீங்காக எழும் தீராவினைகள் ஓங்காமல் உனை தீண்டாமல் தீங்காக எழும் தீராவினைகள் ஓங்காமல் உனை தீண்டாமல் நீங்காத பேரின்பம் தந்து துதிக்கையது சுழற்றி அரும் நிறுத்த நடம் நீங்காத பேரின்பம் தந்து துதிக்கையது சுழற்றி அரும் நிறுத்த நடம் தத்த கஜம் தக ததிமி தக்கிட்ட தக தகஜம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதோம் தத்த கஜம் தக ததிமி தக்கிட்ட தக தகஜம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதோம் தகஜம் தகணம் தஜனு தகிட்ட தக தகணம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதி தகஜம் தகணம் தஜனு தகிட்ட தக தகணம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதி தஜம் ஜம் தஜம் தகஜம் தகயன மத்தகத்து முகஞான கொழுந்தை ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் நற்றவநாதனின் பொற்பதமீதினில் நல்லருகம் புல் நலமுடன் தூவி சிற்பரனே எனை பெற்றவனே அரும் தற்பரனே நீ தயை புரிவாயன பற்றிடுவாய் பல நூறாயிரம் பலன் உற்றிடுவாய் முற்றிடும் வினைகள் அற்று விழும் சுற்றிடும் பகைகள் விட்டகலும் கற்றிடும் கலைகள் நற்றுயரும் வெற்றி தினம் உனை சுற்றி வரும் தத்த கஜம் தக ததிமி தக்கிட்ட தக தகஜம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதோம் தத்த கஜம் தக ததிமி தக்கிட்ட தக தகஜம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதோம் தகஜம் தகணம் தஜனு தகிட்ட தக தகணம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதி தகஜம் தகணம் தஜனு தகிட்ட தக தகணம் தரிக்கிட்ட தித்தளாங்குதி தஜம் ஜம் தஜம் தகஜம் தகயன மத்தகத்து முகஞான கொழுந்தை ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓங்காரமாய் ஒளி நிறைந்த பரமானந்த கணநாதனை பணிந்து ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் மேலோங்கும் நன்மை அறிவாய் ஓங்காரமாய் ஒளி நிறைந்த பரமானந்த கணநாதனை பணிந்து ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய் ஓம் என்று மொழிவாய்.
जयं देहि मा बलं देहि मा रूपं देहि मा जश देहि मा আজ বাজে মনো মাঝে হইয়া গোমনির গান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান আজ বাজে মনো মাঝে হইয়া গোমনির গান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান মনের মুখরে ভাসে তোমারই সে আলো ভরা মধুমুখ খান তোমারই সে আলো ভরা মধুমুখ খান মায়ের মূরতি ধরে জাগো তুমি জাগো মায়ার বিনাশ করে জাগো তুমি জাগো আজ বাজে মন মাঝে হইয়া গোমনির গান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান ও শক্তি রূপে ভক্তি রূপে জাগো তুমি জাগো পুরুষ প্রকৃতি মাঝে জাগো তুমি জাগো শক্তি রূপে ভক্তি রূপে জাগো তুমি জাগো পুরুষ প্রকৃতি মাঝে জাগো তুমি জাগো নীলাকাশে তুমি জাগো মধুভাষে তুমি জাগো দশ প্রহরণ ধরে জাগো তুমি জাগো জাগো তুমি জাগো জাগো তুমি জাগো মায়ের মূরতি ধরে জাগো তুমি জাগো আজ বাজে মন মাঝে হইয়া গোমনির গান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান মনের মুকুরে ভাসে তোমারই সে আলো ভরা মধুমুখ খান মায়ের মূরতি ধরে জাগো তুমি জাগো মায়ার বিনাশ করে জাগো তুমি জাগো আজ বাজে মন মাঝে হইয়া গোমনির গান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান জগত জননী মাকে করে আহ্বান
ঢাকের তালে কোমর দোলে খুশিতে নাচে মন আজ বাজা কাসর জমা আসর থাকবে মা আর কতক্ষণ ঢাকের তালে কোমর দোলে খুশিতে নাচে মন আজ বাজা কাসর জমা আসর থাকবে মা আর কতক্ষণ মায়ের রূপে মন ভরে যায় প্রণাম জানাই রাঙা পায় করে ধুনচি দুহাতে নাচে রে এখন ঢাকের তালে কোমর দোলে খুশিতে নাচে মন আজ বাজা কাসর জমা আসর থাকবে মা আর কতক্ষণ
ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান আয় তবে সহচরি হাতে হাতে ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান আন্তবে বিনা সপ্তম সুরে বাঁধ তবে তান আয় তবে সহচরি হাতে হাতে ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান পাশরিব ভাবনা পাশরিব যাতনা রাখিব প্রমোদে ভরি দিবানিশি মন প্রাণ অন্তবে বিনা সপ্তম সুরে বাঁধ তবে তান আয় তবে সহচরি হাতে হাতে ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান ঢালো ঢালো শশধর ঢালো ঢালো জোছনা সমীরণ বহে যারে ফুলে ফুলে ঢলি ঢলি উলসিত তটিনী উলসিত তটিনী উথলিত গীত রবে খুলে দেরে মন প্রাণ আয় তবে সহচরি হাতে হাতে ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান আয় তবে সহচরি হাতে হাতে ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান আন্তবে বিনা সপ্তম সুরে বাঁধ তবে তান আয় তবে সহচরি হাতে হাতে ধরি ধরি নাচিবি ঘিরি ঘিরি গাহিবি গান
It's a song called Sleepwalk.
Take me to the airport. I don't fly, I don't go, I don't leave. But take me to a white airplane among the grey beasts of olive trees. Say words which change seasons in the great urge of the hour of departing. Then hands will come to the weeping eyes as to a trough and drink and drink and drink and drink.
Yeah.
Fly, we keep it Indian, rapping all the billions, better from Melbourne to Michigan. We used to live with villains and often killers, plus sinners. We never oblivious about God the illest, far from errors. We high five fellas, divine realists. On microphones, we define sickest. Apart from my name, this one thing. These women like saying, Om Namah Shivaya. Dropping the purest of flows. You like that, baby? It's the manjas on the show. We like that. The word's generic, verbs are methodic. Belief was genetic. The fate try and measure it.
मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा मैं बिगड़ी हूँ अपनी मत खोई मेरे परम भूलो मत कोई सुबोरा जो आप न पछाने आप पछाने ता एक जाने सब खलक सियाणी मैं बोरा मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा वाहिगुरु 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 सब खलक सियाणी मैं बोरा मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा अभी न माता सुगबू न माता कह कबीर राम रंग राता अभी न माता सुगबू न माता कह कबीर राम रंग राता सब खलक सियाणी मैं बोरा मेरे बाबा मैं बोरा
हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले जिसका फिर पे दम निकले हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले हजारों ख्वाहिशें खुदा के वास्ते पर्दा न खावे से उठा जालिम खुदा के वास्ते पर्दा न खावे से उठा जालिम कहीं नहीं सानो या नबी वही काफिर सनम निकले हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश पे दम निकले बहुत निकले मेरे अरमान लेकिन फिर भी कम निकले कहाँ मैं खाने का दरवाज़ा गालिब और कहाँ वाइज कहाँ मैं खाने का दरवाज़ा गालिब और कहाँ वाइज पर इतना जानते हैं कल वो जाता था कि हम निकले हजारों ख्वाहिशें ऐसी कि हर ख्वाहिश में दम निकले
Hello everyone, welcome to today's show on multicultural community awareness on COVID vaccination. I am Dr. Aziz Rahman, a public health specialist working as an Associate Professor of Public Health at Federation University Australia. Today we are representing Healthcare Awareness Society of Australia, which aims to promote health awareness among multicultural community groups. Our members include healthcare professionals from different aspects, including general practitioners and specialists. Today's program is part of Spirit Harmony Multicultural Festival Australia 2021, and it is organized by SKGA Inc Australia with the media partner M4 Media Group. Today we are going to talk with a panel of experts about different issues on COVID vaccination. And our aim from today's session, if you clarify your confusion about COVID vaccination and get your jab as soon as possible. So without further ado, let me introduce you with today's panel. We have with us Dr. Navdeep Kaur, who is a general practitioner in Melbourne. Welcome to the show. We have Dr. Madhusudan Singh, who is a medical oncologist practicing in Melbourne. We have Dr. Preeti Khilan, consultant obstetrician and gynecologist, who is practicing in Melbourne. And we have Dr. Raj Khilan, who is a consultant pediatrician practicing in Melbourne. Welcome to today's show.
Thank you.
Now, in terms of COVID vaccination, I'm pretty sure that you have noticed from the media, people were quite hesitant to take COVID vaccine, specifically when there is a preference given whether to take Pfizer vaccine or AstraZeneca vaccine. But with the changing directions from the last month, I'm pretty sure that you have seen now increased rate of COVID vaccination, because now Pfizer is available to almost all of the people who are eligible to get the vaccine. And we have also seen from the media there is also third vaccine, that is Moderna. Now people may be confused regarding what are the vaccines and who should take which vaccine. So that is a common question I guess people can ask at the general practice settings. So I will go to Dr. Navdeep Kaur, if you can explain to our community people today, so what are the vaccines available at this moment and who can take which vaccine? Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aziz. So in Australia now we have 3 different types of COVID vaccinations. Number 1 is Pfizer, AstraZeneca, and Moderna has recently been added to our list. So I'll go one by one. Pfizer is, we need 2 injections, 3 to 6 weeks apart, and it is suitable for anyone who is above the age of 12 years and can be easily available at general practice settings and the hubs. Second one is AstraZeneca, which has been available for last few months here in Australia, and again 2 injections, 8 to 12 weeks apart, and available at both the settings, general practice clinics and the hubs. And the third one, which has recently been added to the list, is Moderna, which is suitable for the age group 12 years old and above, and is available for everyone's convenience at pharmacies. It is again 2 injections, but this one is 4 weeks apart. So these are the 3 which are available here in Australia.
Thank you, Dr. Navdeep. Now, when parents go to see their pediatrician, I'm pretty sure that they are concerned about the safety of those vaccinations for their children. Now, I'll come to Dr. Raj. If you can tell to our viewers today, so about the safety of those vaccines and whether children of anyone who is above 12 years, which vaccine they can avail at the current guideline. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Aziz. And it's a very valid question asking about the safety of vaccination in children. Let's first talk about which vaccine we are talking about. Of course, all the 3 vaccines mentioned can be used in anybody more than 18 years of age. But when it comes to children, AstraZeneca is not indicated, except other 2 vaccinations, Pfizer and Moderna, can be used. And Moderna is just a newly added, so more prevalent option at this stage is still the Pfizer vaccination, and now we can give it to children more than 12 years of age. And the interval between the 2 doses is almost the same as of adult age group. The dose is the same, which is a 30 microgram dose. Still, it is not the any half dose type of things sometimes people think about. And the interval should be between 3 to 6 weeks. And more recently, we are reducing the interval down to 3 weeks to so that more early and quickly, majority of the people can be vaccinated. When it comes to the safety point of view, the safety profile in children is as great as in adult, with a few exceptions where some of the side effects are slightly more common than the other one. And the common side effect, as happening in adults, is the local pain, local swelling, with fever, malaise, feeling a bit tired, headache, These type of things can happen, which is very common in any age group. And sometime in children, because of the pain can be so severe that inability to use the arm on that side, particularly the pain reaching to the shoulder and around the layering of the shoulder joint can happen, and very rarely other complications about leading to chest pain, that is the inflammations of the covering around the heart or the muscles of the heart. But that is very, very rare thing. That should not put children or parents off not to take the vaccination, because majority of the time it is very safe. Even if that complication or side effect happen, it is manageable, and none of the child has been found to be seriously ill with that type of side effects, or there is no death, mortality has been reported. So it's a relatively very safe, very effective vaccinations to be given. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Raj. Now, when we see the pregnant woman, that is the precious time of their life. So when they come to your practice, Dr. Preeti, so what are the recommendation that you will provide for the COVID vaccination to this group of women? Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Again, a very important question, because maybe before the first week of June, we were all in a bit of dilemma till we had direct health directives and guidelines to vaccinate pregnant women. But now it is strongly recommended for all pregnant women to be vaccinated. Pfizer vaccine is a recommended vaccine for pregnant women, and that is what we've been using in Australia. It's an mRNA vaccine, not a live vaccine, safe to be used in pregnancy at any stage. It is also as we know that a few weeks ago, the health minister said that the pregnant women should be the first ones and prioritized to get vaccinated, as much so that they were in the same they were given the same importance to be vaccinated as frontline health workers. So my message to all pregnant women when they come to me with any queries is please get vaccinated.
Thank you, Dr. Preeti.
Thanks.
So in our community, we have another group of special people who are immunocompromised. That includes patients with different diagnosis of cancer. So I'll come to Dr. Madhusudan. So if there's any patient who used to come to you with those cancer diagnoses, so what would be the recommendation for COVID vaccination for this type of patients?
So the patients who do have cancer are a particularly vulnerable population of patients, and their outcomes from COVID, if they catch COVID, is much worse than that of any other person whose immune system is very intact. So we do have very good clinical evidence to support the use of COVID vaccination in patients who do have cancer. The first thing is it safe for this patient population to be given the vaccination? And yes, I can assure you that it is very safe to do so. And the more important question is that does this vaccination actually work? So, and the reason for asking this question is because these patients are immunocompromised in significant proportions, and it's possible that the immune system theoretically could not mount an immune response, and therefore we will not be protected from the vaccination. Now, fortunately, there have been a few clinical studies which have confirmed that the outcome from the vaccination is as good in this patient population as in the other ones. So, if anybody needs to get the vaccination, it's the patients who do have cancer or who are getting treatment with the chemotherapy. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Madhusudan. So, dear viewers, you can see from the panel of today, so they have emphasized more that you can take COVID vaccine if you are eligible, whether you are adults, whether you are children, whether you are immunocompromised, or whether you are pregnant. So, it is really important to get this message clear and then book your vaccination. But still, when there is a recommendation, still people are confused about this vaccine. And so that is the term that we use, vaccine hesitancy. So scientists try to look at why people don't want to take vaccine. So there are 5 factors that they have mentioned that explain human behavior, why people don't want to take vaccine. That includes confidence, complacency, calculation, collective responsibility, and whether there are any constraints involved. And I'm pretty sure these are the factors that people come to the practice, to the health professionals to clarify their confusion, so they are confident to get the vaccine. Now my question is to Dr. Navdeep. So what are the common questions that you see in your practice nowadays? I understand that questions have changed starting from the pandemics and then rolling out the vaccine, and now we can see lots of vaccination, but still I'm pretty sure there are common questions that you face in your practice. If you can tell what are those. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Aziz. It is actually a very good question, and yes, we still, common things come common, so we still do get. The first question is about the side effects, as Dr. Raj already mentioned about the side effects in children. So it's pretty much similar, the common side effects in adults or children or in pregnant women. The common ones are fever, tiredness, body aches, sore throat, or pain at the injection site. And usually they are short-lived, usually they are 1 to 5 days. And Panadol can be taken. And then, as Dr. Raj mentioned, the uncommon ones, again with Pfizer and Moderna, it could be swelling or inflammation of the lining of the heart or muscle of the heart, which is called pericarditis or myocarditis. And then with AstraZeneca, it's been in media for so many months, deep vein thrombosis. But I must say all these uncommon ones are quite rare side effects, so we should not get worried about these side effects, and the common ones come common. And the second important question I'm asked nearly every single day about COVID vaccination is from people who have chronic medical conditions, and they are on, of course, with their chronic medical conditions like diabetes, high blood pressure, heart problems or asthma. They are taking multiple medications, including blood thinners, aspirin or other blood thinners. So they come in and they are worried that they already have too many medical conditions and they are on so many different medications, whether they should get the vaccination done. So to my message to those group of people with chronic medical conditions is that yes, they should get the vaccination done, because as we know, when we have chronic medical condition, our immune system doesn't work as well. And when our immune system is not working well, of course, we can pick up the virus very easily. And then with chronic medical conditions, we can fall very ill and end up in hospitals and end up on ventilators. So it is rather more important for people with chronic medical conditions to get vaccinated. And third question which I'm asked nowadays for last 2 to 4 weeks is about the vaccination passport. People come in and ask about the vaccination passport. So what it means is now to dine out or to go and, as we are moving forward, to open up. So we are all wanting to have our normal life, so we would need the vaccination passport. And so any provider who is doing the vaccination, after the 2 injections, they update it with the Australian Immunisation Registry. And if you have your MyGov account, you can print it, you can download the forms, or you can actually download the app to get that vaccination certificate. It's just pretty much a piece of paper which tells us that we have had 2 doses of vaccination. And if you can't access MyGov account, then you can go and see your general practitioner and they should be able to print it for you. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. So that's a very good point about the vaccination passport, and down the track probably we'll look at this vaccination passport where we'll be able to access different venues that will come up like we are quite used to now by scanning the QR code at different venues. So down the track probably in Australia we are going to use this vaccination passport to access different venues. So it's really important, even if you want to get back your freedom to get your vaccine as soon as possible. So that's a good point, Dr. Navdeep. You have mentioned about the chronic conditions. So I'll come to Dr. Madhusudhan about these chronic disease patients, and your specialty is about the cancer patients. So what are the common questions that you can see in your practice nowadays?
So they're mainly concerned about the efficacy of the vaccination. That is it really going to protect them from the infection? Of course, the hesitancy that do they really need to get the vaccination, And initially there was a time when people were really concerned about the side effects of AstraZeneca vaccination, especially the clotting problems which is associated with the AstraZeneca vaccination. It's an extremely rare side effect, and that in itself should not be the reason for a cancer patient not to get the vaccination. Having said that, if somebody is really concerned now, then there's always the option of Pfizer vaccination or Moderna vaccination. But generally, the basic questions continue to be exactly the same, whether it's a cancer patient or a diabetes patient or patients suffering from other medical issues.
Thank you, Dr. Madhusudan. Now, we know that pregnancy is an important part of a woman's life. So I'm pretty sure that women have different types of questions regarding this COVID vaccination. So Dr. Preeti, so when women come to you, so is there any question that you face when they are at different stages of pregnancy? So what they should do, whether there are any concerns about this COVID vaccination? Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Yes, I think the commonest question women have when they come pregnant is, first of all, is it safe for me to have the vaccine? And the second question is, at what stage of pregnancy? So my message to everyone here is that look, the Pfizer vaccine is the recommended vaccine, safe and to be taken at any stage of pregnancy. In fact, I would recommend women that if you just found out that you're pregnant, strongly advised to go and get the vaccine. The earlier the women get vaccinated in pregnancy, it's just better and safer, because as we know that as pregnancy advances and there is more respiratory compromise because of the diaphragm being pushed up because of the growing uterus with the fetus inside, especially in the third trimester. COVID infection, if a woman contracts COVID infection in the third trimester, could be more disastrous, more ending up in the hospital and needing ICU support. So my message is that look, it is an absolutely safe vaccine, and as soon as you found out that you're pregnant, if you've not been vaccinated, go and get vaccinated.
Thanks, Dr. Preeti. Now, Dr. Raj, you have already mentioned about who can take vaccine in the children and pediatric age group. And I'm pretty sure that parents are more concerned about their safety, and you have already mentioned some of the side effects. So what are the common questions that you face from the parents nowadays in your practice?
I think there are many questions, and as a parent, we are always worried about the children and ask multiple questions about them. I will enumerate a couple of them, I think, because of the limitation of time. And the biggest question they ask about why children should be vaccinated. And particularly when we talk about, as I mentioned previously, many times in other interviews today, the COVID is generally very mild. 98% of the time children, they either have no signs or a minimum symptoms, cough, cold type of things, or just a temperature. And then if they are having mild symptoms, and then why they need to be vaccinated, why should I put my child to that extra jabs over here? And which I think from their side, yes, it is definitely valid, but it is our responsibility to understand why the children need to be vaccinated and message to be conveyed to them. And there are various reasons in that way. But as we know from the adult studies, that vaccination is very effective in terms of reducing severity of the disease, in terms of reducing the hospitalization, in terms of reducing the need for going to ICU, in terms of needing the ventilation rate. So all these things are significantly reduced, and this is what we are seeing in New South Wales experience versus coming. Majority of the people, those who are in intensive care, whether children or adult, they are unvaccinated. So definitely vaccination reduces these chances. Of course, children are less likely to end up in ICU anyway, but even if one child we can protect to go to ICU, this is worth it. And my heart will bleed and I would cry if any child is dying because of the COVID, and which is a preventable disease now, and we can prevent up to some extent that severity, particularly in children. In last year, we lost in America and in UK, many children life was lost because we didn't know how to manage them. And we didn't have the vaccination at that time for children. But now we have all these tools in our hands, so we can protect them, we can prevent them to end up in a hospital. And the second question, which in continuation to what Dr. PT has told, parents generally ask about, can I breastfeed my baby? And during vaccination, and how I can protect my child, a baby from catching COVID. And that is another a very valid question because it's the emotional side. And we know that babies, infants are generally immunocompromised stage. Their immunity is not that well developed during that time, and it is our responsibility to protect them. So vaccinating during getting a vaccination during pregnancy is one of the best tools to protect children because antibody also transfer through placenta to baby and give protection. So that is the most important message I would like to give. Better to vaccinate during pregnancy or even before you're planning to become pregnant to protect your baby later on. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Raj. So we can hear from the panel of experts today that you need to consider to get the vaccine, and if there is any confusion, you need to clarify these things so that you can be confident to go ahead and to get the vaccine. But still there are some misconceptions that's lying around, and our federal government and the state government are trying to promote this thing, and they have translated the different awareness messages in terms of vaccination. But I'm pretty sure that still there are many misconceptions that our health professionals today who are present today, they are facing in their practice. So we'll talk about the misconceptions now. So at first, if I come to Dr. Navdeep, so what are the common misconceptions or myths that you can see in your practice?
Thank you, Dr. Aziz. Vaccination has been going quite well now, but still we are facing every single day. People are still coming in with misconceptions and myths. The commonest one which I face in my general practice is that they come in and they say, we want to wait and watch. We want to still see how it goes in for next few months, because they feel that the COVID vaccine has come out quite quickly. Usually most of the medicines or vaccines, they take years of research before they get available to the public. So the answer to this question is, yes, of course, we are lucky that the COVID vaccine did come out quite quickly, and it might feel that it came out quickly, but actually the researchers and scientists has been working quite hard all around the world to make one and to get the COVID vaccination out, and global funding has been supporting it. That made it possible. All the vaccinations which are available here in Australia, Pfizer, Moderna and AstraZeneca, they still have gone through all the 3 phases where they check whether it is safe for use in human body, and second phase about the efficacy and if it is effective against the virus or the cause. So they all of them have gone through all those processes before coming out to all of us. And KGA and all the worldwide organizations, they have approved these vaccinations. So the message here is they all are safe and equally effective. So do get your vaccinations done. Thank you.
Thanks, Dr. Navdeep. Now, if I go to Dr. Preeti, so what are the common misconceptions that you see among the pregnant women, those or the women of the young age, those come to you about this COVID vaccination misconception?
Thanks. Yes, I see women of all ages, so I'm fortunate to see a diverse group there. Now, women, if I start with women who are suffering from subfertility or infertility, they're quite concerned because I think there has been myths and rumors going around that it may delay fertility. But my advice to them is that, look, all research and clinical evidence we have, I strongly recommend those women to get vaccinated, especially if they are going through stage of getting help for subfertility or infertility, because very strongly recommended, as it would prevent them further in their pregnancy. So it does not cause any subfertility or delays fertility in any way. The second thing also, which women, especially because now the vaccine is available for the adolescent from the age of 12 to children from the age of 12 to 18, parents have been worried that does it cause a delay in their periods, or does it cause any irregularity of the cycle. So some anecdotal evidence said that there could be some irregularity in the cycle. What I assure that, look, if anything happens, usually there could be other factors involved, and it is a very transient effect. So it does not cause any disruption in their menstrual cycle in the long term. And often we see that the periods could be irregular, especially in younger children, especially after the onset of menarche. So I would assure that, look, this is quite safe. Going on to pregnant women, again, this vaccine does not increase the risk of miscarriage in the first trimester, so very safe to be vaccinated as soon as you find you're pregnant. It does not increase teratogenicity, because it's not a live vaccine. And as you know, with some of the live vaccines like the MMR vaccine, women are advised to defer pregnancy for 4 to 6 weeks after getting the MMR vaccine. But this is not the case with the COVID-19 vaccine. And lastly, which has already been covered by Dr. Raj, is breastfeeding. Strongly recommended that if you have missed out this vaccine in pregnancy, get it done in your postpartum phase, get it done as soon as you had the baby. And even if you're breastfeeding, it has seemed to get, there are antibodies which are secreted in the breast milk and would protect your baby and infant. So my message to pregnant women is please, and women or all children from the age of 12 to 18 is please get vaccinated.
Thanks, Dr. Preeti. I'm pretty sure that it is quite reassuring to get this advice from this expert today, so you can be confident to go ahead with the vaccination. Okay, now, Dr. Raj, so there must be some misconceptions among the parents when they come for vaccination of their children. So what are the common misconceptions that you see in your practice nowadays?
Thank you very much. And I would say the biggest misconception is, does it cause any autism? And second thing, does it cause any change in the genetic material? Because the biggest misconceptions which is spreading around is that it attaches with the genetic material and change your genetic material, and it will affect the growing brain. So this is the message I would like to say. The way this vaccine works, it does not go inside the nucleus, does not attach to the genetic material, and it is very unlikely to cause any defect on the growing brain. So coming back to the autism point of view, that is a very interesting question. Sometimes the parent asks, does it cause any autism? And luckily I would say the autism is generally diagnosed more in around the toddler age, between 2 to 3 years of age, and luckily we are not giving this vaccine at least at this stage in children less than 12 years of age, unless until the autism is undetected till 12 years of age, which is very unlikely in Australia. So, and though we don't have a long-term study at this stage to back up to say, but whatever evidences we have so far, we can say it's very unlikely to cause autism. This is the message I would like to convey to my community. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dr. Raj. So I'll come to Dr. Madhusudan. You have already reassured our viewers today that it is safe for the patients with cancer to take this COVID vaccine. But I'm pretty sure that they are really cautious what they are taking, and there could be some misconceptions among these cancer patients. If you can tell, what are the common misconceptions that you see among this patient group?
So the main concern that my patient population typically has is that the vaccination process was rushed through and corners were cut, and we are not so safe, and we are not so sure that it is safe enough to be taken. The answer which I give them is that it has been given to practically half of the world population, and everybody has been looking at the side effect profile with a magnifying glass. So far, nothing serious. Of course, there are some side effects which are the rate of which is 1 in 40,000, 1 in 50,000. But the total number of lives this vaccination can save is much, much more than anything else in this era. So and honestly, most of my patients sort of could not wait to get vaccinated because everybody understood that how important it is for them.
Thank you, Dr. Madhusudan. Dear viewers, we are near to the end of our program. Now, I will come to the panel of experts today to deliver the single key message for our multicultural community people. And if I start with Dr. Raj Kiran.
My message to the community is that vaccination is one of the major tools to get out of pandemic, major tool to send our children back to school, because I would be very worried for any child less than 12 years, those who are not vaccinated, and when they will go back to school. So the important way we can make them safe is to get vaccinated, making a ring of vaccinated people around them, vaccinating parents, vaccinating every household, adults, vaccinating school staff, teachers, and other school canteen staff, so that these children can enjoy their activity, back to normal schooling, normal sports activity, and normal social gathering. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I'll come to Dr. Preeti.
Now, my general message to everybody is, vaccine quite mandatory now, so that we can get our life back to normal. Pregnant women, don't be worried, don't be scared. Very important for you to be vaccinated. It is safe in pregnancy. Thanks.
Thank you. Dr. Navdeep.
My message would be that this is the pandemic of unvaccinated people, so please go and get your vaccination done as soon as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Madhusudan.
We are very fortunate that this bug came in 2019 and in this era, and we have been able to get a vaccination so quickly. If, for example, this had come 10 or 20 years ago, the scenario would be very different. We have seen the pictures from India, from USA, from Brazil, from Europe, and seen what kind of devastation this can cause. And we have also seen what kind of life they have after the vaccination. So let's all roll up our sleeves and get the vaccination. In my household, my father has had the vaccination, I have had it, my wife has had it, and 2 of my kids have had it. So I can walk the walk, basically. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Madhusudan. I would like to thank all the panel members who provided their valuable time today to deliver the message to reassure our multicultural community people today that you should take your vaccine as soon as possible, because the scientific evidence clearly shows that it will protect you, your families, and this community people. So my last message is, whenever you have any confusion about this vaccine, there are plenty of resources, but it's really important to look at the authentic resource, and if there's any confusion, see your general practitioner, see your doctor, see your specialist, so that you are confident what you are taking. The last message that I would like to mention is vaccination is not the only thing that we need to follow in this pandemic. We also need to follow the common public health messages, the public health advice, and together we'll be able to beat this virus. Together we can. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Saçın ucun hörmezler, gülü sulu dermezler, sar gelin. Saçın ucun hörmezler, gülü sulu dermezler, sar gelin. Bu sevda ne sevdadır, seni mənə verməzlər. Neynim aman aman, neynim aman aman, sarı gəlin.
Thank you very much, Rauf. Hi everyone, I'm Nicat. Today we'll talk about Azerbaijan, its culture, Azerbaijani culture and Indian culture, and also how Azerbaijani community in Victoria has evolved over time. So I'll start first. I'll talk about Azerbaijan and I'll provide some interesting facts about it. So Azerbaijan is a post-Soviet country. It lies in Caucasus Mountains, just next to the biggest lake in the world, Caspian Sea. It has Russia on north, Turkey to the west, and Iran in the south. Azerbaijan has got around the population of around 10 million, and the capital city is Baku. And as I said, it's surrounded by around 5 countries. Its culture has been influenced very much by Turkic culture, obviously Russian culture because it's a post-Soviet country, and also Iranian culture. The biggest thing in Azerbaijan, the biggest thing in the market of Azerbaijan is oil. Actually, almost 90% of exports of Azerbaijan is oil, and the first oil drilling, actually occurred in Baku, the capital city of Azerbaijan, in 1850s. And Azerbaijan played a very important role in World War II, supplying essential oil to the troops of the Soviet Union. Actually, some interesting facts about oil. The Nobel brothers, the establishers of Nobel Prize, they actually made almost all their money in Baku city. And also, we've got 10 million people in Azerbaijan right now, but interestingly enough, the more Azerbaijanis live in Iran. And carpets and horses are actually a big thing in Azerbaijan, and the region in the west, Karabakh, is very famous for its carpets and horses. We actually have a game called Chogan, which was practiced by Azerbaijanis almost 500,000 years ago, and it's very similar to polo. And what happened? Western countries eventually adopted that game and called it polo, and it's very widespread right now throughout the world. Azerbaijan is a relatively small country, but very interestingly enough, it has got mountains and the beaches, so some people actually say that Azerbaijan has got 9 different climate types. And tea is a big part of Azerbaijani household. Everyone is drinking tea. No one knows about coffee, and I think Azerbaijan is almost top country in the world by tea consumption. I think 99% of Azerbaijanis actually consume tea only. And it's a secular country, interestingly enough, because it lies close to Eastern Europe, Middle East, and Central Asia. But according to some research, Azerbaijan is almost the most secular country in the world, and we've got even entire villages with Christians living in it, Jewish people living in it, and obviously Muslim people living in it. Now I'll pass on to my colleague Rauf to talk about Azerbaijan and Indian relationship.
Thank you. I'm going to talk about Azeri and Indian relationship, ties and similarities of these two nations. India recognized Azerbaijan as an independent country in December 1991, soon after we proclaimed our independence from USSR formally in October 1991. The resident embassy of India was opened in March 1999, and Azerbaijan's export to India $457 million, import $126. Major import products cereals, machinery, nuclear reactors, boilers, electric and electronic equipment, and of course pharmaceutical products. Logistically, complexity between these two countries were a large issue in the setting up of trade foundation or exploring synergies between these two. But the North-South trade corridor, amongst other wins, is a huge impact to our relationship between these two countries. The other important historical relationship between two countries is the Great Silk Road. Centuries earlier, Indians involved in trading with Caspian region were a regular feature in Azerbaijan. They traded goods such as silk, spices, tea, ivory, cotton.
Ivory.
Yeah. Ivory, cotton, wool, and precious metals. Much of the woodwork for ships on the Caspian Sea was also done by Indian craftsmen. Cultural influence in this country are quite a sight to behold. One of the most important things for Indians in Azerbaijan is the fire of Baku, fire temple of Baku, which we call Baku Ateshgah. It's a castle-like religious temple just outside of Baku, a multi-religious temple at different points in time. It was used as a Hindu, Sikh, and even Zoroastrian place of worship.
Zoroastrian.
Exactly, yeah. Ateshgah is a world of fire. That's why it's used a lot with Zoroastrianism, and the complex which has a courtyard surrounded by cells for monks and altar just in the middle.
So you're saying there are a lot of people coming from India to Azerbaijan
yes, every year
just to visit
yes,
that one
as a
place.
pilgrims, and it was built during 17th, 18th century. And the other thing about our relationship is the very famous name is Sadhguru. So on 8th November 2018, Sadhguru landed in Azerbaijan. He was there on the invitation of the president's daughter, Leyla Aliyeva, who is the president of Yoga Federation. And despite of the jet lag and fatigue from travel, the same day Sadhguru set out on his visit to Fire Temple and the Maiden Tower, and which are cultural heritages of Azerbaijan. Sadhguru's Russian translation book, very famous, it's called Inner Engineering, A Guide to Joy, was presented in Baku Book Center. So now I want to talk a little bit about yoga. So
and I know you've got personal ties with yoga.
Yes.
You personally have been exposed to Indian culture.
First time I started my yoga practices in 2008, and it was just one teacher in Azerbaijan, Baku, and around 10-15 students. But now it's so surprisingly like it's growing in popularity in Azerbaijan. And as we know, yoga is a series of exercise, combines physical, mental, and spiritual practices. And the origin of yoga, of course, is India, and the world itself, like yoga world, is derived from Sanskrit and means to join or unite. So it helps unite people in Azerbaijan and in India and unite two nations as well.
And would I be right if I say you are one of the first yoga practitioners in Azerbaijan?
Yes, and I even went to India to continue and learn more about yoga, meditation, and other practices.
Which part of
India? I went to Kerala, south part of India. It's one of the most beautiful states in India, and I've been there actually 2 times. And a yoga and poetry night has been arranged as a part of World Literature Project held in Yanardagh State Historical Culture and Natural Reserve. The International Yoga Day is celebrating annually in Baku city 21st of June and was internationally recognized by the United Nations General Assembly in 2014. The day is observed in many countries, including Azerbaijan and India. The large-scale 5th Yoga and Health Festival has been held in the seaside boulevard in Baku city. And every year, all yoga fans of the city gather at a big festival and celebrate significant event, International Day of Yoga. Also, I want to say between our relationships in a culture and poetry, and even some of other important names are Rashid Begutov and Raj Kapoor. So Rashid Begutov is a famous singer who was also a friend with Indian actor Raj Kapoor. Azeri artist Rashid Begutov also promoted Azeri music both in India and in Azerbaijan. For me personally, India became really attractive for me after reading the book called Shantaram.
You discovered India.
I discovered literally this country for myself, how amazing and incredible it is, and I decided to visit India. So Shantaram is a novel by Gregory Roberts in which Australian bank robber escapes prison and goes to India and went to India. And novel is commended by many for its vivid portrayal of Bombay city and lots of traditions, culture of India in early to late 18th. And yeah, this novel really inspired. I remember it was 2018 when we got a Russian translation of book Shantaram, and it became a bestseller in my country. So all my group mates, all my family members read that book. Yeah, I went to India. Every single person in my family went to India, like my brother, mother. So they all decided like, oh, this is an amazing country. We see so many similarities and we want to go and enjoy this country. And when I arrived in India, I was feeling like this country is like, I've been in this country before. Personally, I believe in reincarnation, and maybe one of my lives I lived in India and was a part of this amazing country and culture.
You don't need to answer this question, but what do you think? Do you think something has changed in you once you visited India?
Yes.
You don't need to answer it if it's personal.
I think this country for me is a country where I ask questions, go with some question in my heart and find the answers there. I think I go to the special state of mind and relaxation where the answer comes. And first time I decided to move to Australia from Azerbaijan, and it was a big step for me. I discovered it in India. I asked the question, what do I want for the next 5-10 years? And in India, I found my question. I will go.
You found your answer?
Oh, sorry, I found my answer, yeah.
So actually India led you to
exactly.
Australia.
India led me, connected Azerbaijan and kind of Australia. And now I'm in Australia and enjoying.
That's
and
amazing.
I'm really was surprised how many Indians in Australia. It's a big community, and every year I've been invited to some Diwali parties where I took part, and I was really enjoying that Diwali parties, and I have lots of Indian friends. I love Indian cuisine, and yeah
exactly.
Indian songs.
That's
of
amazing.
course. Yeah.
And tell me about the weddings. I think weddings in Azerbaijan and India, they're very similar.
Yeah.
I think we've got at least 1,000 guests.
1,000 guests.
Visiting Azerbaijani weddings, and I know it's a big thing in India as well.
Yeah, lots of dancing, lots of eating, singing, and like
music.
And sometimes it's not one day wedding, it's 3-4 days weddings, like lots, because too many guests you can't accommodate, and you need to do part 1, part 2, part 3. So yeah, it's a big thing. It's a big thing in Azerbaijan. It's
all I can say, I think we're actually looking forward to building even closer relationships with Indian community in Australia, and actually building some kind of a friendship tie between Azerbaijan and Indian community. Azerbaijani community in Victoria is quite close to each other. So I think we've got at least 1,000 members in our community, mainly from Azerbaijan, but we also have a lot of people from Iran. And as I said, when I say Azerbaijani, it doesn't really mean one nation. We've got Jewish people, Russian people, Talysh people, and also Azerbaijanis themselves. The first wave of Azerbaijanis was around in the 90s when the Soviet Union collapsed, and many Azerbaijanis just immigrated in Australia. And the second wave started in probably 2000, 2010s, when a lot of students came here to study their bachelor's, master's, and postdoctorate degrees. So the community is growing, and we, again, as I said, we're looking forward to building more closer relationships.
I think the purpose of this talk was to give some brief information about our country and some relationship between India and Azerbaijan, I think, which we did pretty
and
well.
I think we actually, and also just express our excitement about the communities.
Yeah, and I think we want to invite everyone to come and visit this incredible country called Azerbaijan and enjoy our food.
And everyone should join our annual Nowruz celebration, which happens in spring. It's a spring celebration. We have a lot of food, and the spring is actually the celebration of friendship and family. So they say that people actually, if you don't talk to anyone or you have some bad relationship with anyone, the spring, the Nowruz, is the time when you actually forgive those people and you restart your friendship.
Hope you enjoyed our talk, and welcome to Azerbaijan. Yeah.
Thanks very much.
Thank you.